It happened in broad daylight, right in the heart of suburbia. The kind of neighborhood with pristine lawns, trimmed hedges, and a homeowners association that thinks it runs the world. I was walking my dog, same route as always, when I saw her, Karen, clipboard in hand, face twisted in that familiar look of fake concern and quiet rage. She was standing over a homeless child, no older than 10. What she said, what she did, it was cruel, inhumane. She thought no one was watching. But I was, and now I can't stay silent. She was yelling at him, not loudly, but in that sharp, cutting tone people use when they want to sound civil while being absolutely vicious. "This is private property," she hissed. "You people can't just lay around like trash. There are rules here." The boy said nothing. He was maybe 9, skinny, curled up beside a bush near the sidewalk. His hoodie was torn, shoes way too big. I remember the way he looked at her, wide-eyed, scared, but too tired to fight. Karen took out her phone, not to call for help, not to call social services. She started filming him. "You want to make a scene here? Fine. I'll show the HOA board what kind of garbage is sneaking into our neighborhood." That's when I stepped closer. I don't think she even noticed me at first. I wasn't sure what to say. My heart was pounding, but something in me snapped. "Hey," I said sharply. She jumped and turned around. "This doesn't concern you." "Actually, it does," I replied. "I saw everything, and I'm not letting you get away with this." Her face changed. That Karen expression, the one that flips from fake authority to victim in half a second. "You don't understand, he was trespassing. What if he was dangerous?" I looked at the kid again. He hadn't moved, just watched us, like he didn't quite believe what was happening. I crouched down beside him and asked quietly, "Are you hungry?" He nodded, just once. I told her, "Call the cops if you want, but I'm taking him to get food. And if you try to stop me, I'll make sure everyone sees the video I just recorded of you." Her face went pale. She left, muttering something about entitled snowflakes and lawsuits. But I didn't care. We walked to the corner store in silence. I bought him a sandwich, a bottle of water, and one of those cheap fleece blankets by the register. He told me his name was Jaden. No last name, no home. That was 3 days ago. I haven't seen Karen since. But I still see Jaden. And the story isn't over yet. I let Jaden crash on my couch that night. It wasn't much, just a tiny one-bedroom apartment with creaky floors and a stubborn water heater. But it was warm, safe. He didn't say much, barely touched the sandwich, just sat wrapped in the blanket, eyes darting around like he expected someone to bust in and drag him out. The next morning, I called a friend who worked at a local shelter. She said they were full, again, but promised to ask around. That was the 3rd shelter I'd called. It was like trying to find space on a sinking ship. I didn't want to pry, but over time, Jaden started opening up in pieces. His mom had overdosed a year ago. No dad in the picture. He'd been bouncing around, couch surfing, sleeping in bus stations under freeway bridges. He said he came to this neighborhood because he heard it was nice. He didn't know that nice meant HOA patrols and people like Karen. I bought him a backpack, some clean clothes, enrolled him in the local community center's youth program under my name. Felt like something, like I was helping. But then she came back. 2 weeks after our first encounter, I found a printed letter taped to my apartment door. No name, but I recognized the tone. All caps. Concerned resident. Complaining about harboring a vagrant and violating safety codes. Next day, someone called my building manager. Then Child Protective Services. I wasn't scared. I was furious. Jaden heard me arguing on the phone and just went quiet. Shut down completely. He'd seen this before. People trying to help until it got too hard. I can go, he said quietly. You don't have to deal with this because of me. But I wasn't going to let Karen win. I saw what she did to you, I told him, and she thinks if she pushes hard enough, I'll just forget, that you'll disappear. But I'm not letting that happen. That night, I started documenting everything. Emails, photos, the HOA letter, even security cam footage from a neighbor who happened to catch part of the first incident. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Maybe the news. Maybe court. Maybe something bigger. Because the truth is, this isn't just about Jaden. It's about every kid like him who gets treated like a problem instead of a person. It's about people like Karen, who hide behind rules to justify cruelty. And it's about those of us who see it and decide we're not looking away. The story's not over. But I promise you this, she's not going to like how it ends. A week later, I got a call from a blocked number. You think you're some kind of hero? The voice was unmistakable, cold, smug. Karen, you're interfering with HOA business. If you don't stop, you'll be reported for endangering the neighborhood. You have no idea who you're messing with. Click. No name, no proof. But that was the point, keep things in the shadows. Make me second guess. Make Jaden feel like a burden. But it didn't work. That night, I sent out the first email. Subject line: Incident involving HOA member and minor witness report attached. I included screenshots, timestamps, and a 2-minute video clip from a neighbor's doorbell cam. It showed Karen standing over Jaden, pointing, recording, yelling. I sent it to the HOA board and to a local journalist friend, just in case. The HOA responded 3 days later with a carefully worded message. We take all reports seriously. However, this matter does not fall under the scope of our responsibilities. Please direct further concerns to the proper authorities. Translation: We don't want trouble. But something interesting happened after that. A woman from the neighborhood, a single mom I'd never spoken to, knocked on my door. I heard what happened, she said. My son goes to school with Jaden now. He told me everything. If you need someone to back you up, I'm in. Then another neighbor emailed me. Then a guy from the corner house. Turns out, Karen had a reputation for calling code enforcement on basketball hoops, for yelling at teenagers riding skateboards, for reporting a family's Halloween decorations as demonic. People had stayed quiet before, but now they were paying attention. Meanwhile, Jaden was slowly coming back to life. He started drawing again little superheroes and city skylines. He asked if he could help with groceries. He even made a joke one morning about Karen being a villain with a clipboard. But he was still nervous whenever he saw a police car, or a woman in a blazer with short blonde hair. Trauma doesn't fade overnight. We started talking about next steps, legal guardianship, school options, therapy. And I realized I was in this for the long haul. Not out of pity, not even out of justice, but because Jaden deserved someone who wouldn't walk away. The story isn't over. Karen hasn't stopped. But neither have I. And now, I'm not alone. Took months. Petitions were signed. HOA meetings were packed. Standing room only. People who had never spoken up before came forward with stories. Stories about harassment, intimidation, manipulation, always from the same person, Karen. The final straw came when someone anonymously leaked audio of her bragging at a wine night about chasing off that little homeless rat. That did it. She was removed from the HOA board. Not with a bang, but with a whisper. Just a quiet email saying she had stepped down to focus on personal matters. No apology, no accountability, but she was gone. Jaden and I watched the neighborhood shift after that. The air felt lighter, friendlier. Neighbors waved more, left care packages at our door. Someone even gave Jaden a second-hand bike. We'd gotten him enrolled full-time at school under a kinship placement. Not perfect, not permanent, but safe. He was thriving, reading constantly, drawing full comic strips. He even started calling me Uncle. I didn't correct him. One night, as we sat on the stoop watching the sun go down, he asked, "Do you think she's still mad?" I smiled. "Probably. But you know what? That's not our problem." He nodded. "Good." And for the first time in a long time, he looked peaceful. So here's the truth. I didn't set out to be anyone's hero. I just saw something wrong and refused to look away. Karen thought no one was watching, but I was, and I'll keep watching for Jaden and for every kid like him. Because sometimes the smallest act of kindness is the loudest form of defiance. And sometimes standing up for one child changes an entire neighborhood. The story's not over, but this chapter ends here.